Conservative broadcaster Steve Deace, Blaze TV, is feeling a little bitter today after Rudy Giuliani and other Trump allies were basically forced to admit that they are giant liars, that they had lied about the election, they lied about voter fraud, they lied about election fraud, and yeah, he's gonna tell you how upset he is.
We are going to the mattresses for these people. We are offering them more accommodation, more chances than we'd offer our own family members, for goodness sakes. And for what? To have Rudy Giuliani go down to Georgia and admit that he lied? Have Jason Miller tell the January 6th commission, yeah, we all knew it was BS. What is this?
That is harsh reality, my friend. That is harsh reality kicking you in the face. No, okay. I love what he said. Oh, we went to the mat for these people. We are offered them more accommodations than we offered our own family members. Well, that really says something, doesn't it? That really says something. And for what? Well, for nothing. Because this election fraud stuff was nothing more than a pack of right-wing lies. That's it. He's going to further go on to actually be honest about, what all this is.
Some of you don't like it when I use the cult word, but when you like being treated like a schmuck and ask for more, that is a cult. I'm the mark. I'm the sucker. I want to be such. And I resent the person who tries to get me out of that. Those are marks of groupthink, frankly.
I'm the mark. I'm the sucker. It's true. He said it. That's exactly what it is. And yes, he's right. It's groupthink. And look, since Trump had, taken over the Republican Party, they have been stuck in this groupthink about election fraud and voter fraud and all this stuff. Even during COVID. Even by the way, going against Donald Trump when he changed his mind on vaccines. But again, it doesn't matter. There's all this groupthink. Vaccine bad, and all this stuff bad. Voter fraud, vaccine, all this stuff. It's basically they're the NPCs at this point, where you replace the chip in their head with one thing, and then they get mad about it. Today it's kitty litter boxes in classrooms. Tomorrow it's trans people just literally existing. It's what happens. It's what they do. Now, he's going to further go on in this next video to complain about mainly himself and how he's been harmed by this.
How many people in this audience sent money to stop the steal 3 years ago? How many shows did I waste your time talking about this 3 years ago? How many? I still have not recovered between the election fraud and COVID. I probably have the smallest Facebook following of any major show in this entire industry. I will routinely post things on Facebook, get like 2 or 3 comments. It's like Facebook is like, we won't ban you because then you'll whine about it and generate a bunch of publicity. So we'll just make it that no one sees your material at all. Why? Because I went to the mattresses on COVID and the election fraud issue.
Smallest violin for you, Steve. I got the smallest violin. Cry more. Bitter tears. Salty. Very salty. Look, obviously I love this for a few reasons. For one, he is actually, coming to reality. All right? And look, he admits that it's a cult. And the reason that he, I think, is able to admit that it's a cult now is because of, Donald Trump's legal troubles, of course, Rudy Giuliani's legal troubles, January 6th, the investigation, all that stuff. But I also think that it's probably because he was never in the cult to begin with. Now, what do I mean by that? Look, Steve Deace was actually somebody who supported Ted Cruz all the way back in 2016. He didn't want Donald Trump. He knew that Donald Trump was a clown. He knew that Donald Trump, was going to bring the party down. It was the same thing that happened. Lindsey Graham had also said something. But just like Ted Cruz, who ended up phone banking for Trump, just like Lindsey Graham, who kissed Donald Trump's boots, or other things. Steve Deace decided to bend the knee, kiss the ring. Look, by the way, Deace had claimed that he was going to leave the Republican Party after Ted Cruz himself bent the knee. But, of course, he immediately came right back after Donald Trump won the nomination and then won the election. So I don't think this is a situation where Steve Deace actually suddenly came to love Donald Trump to see, oh, I believe in the MAGA. No, I think what Steve Deace wanted was, I think what a lot of broadcasters want on the right, and that's money, and that's attention, and that's a platform. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting, a bigger platform and attention, people to listen to you. I do a show, I want people to listen. But at the same time, like, unlike Steve Deace, I'm not going to sell out my values. I'm not going to sell out, what I believe, my positions, my criticisms of both Democrats and obviously Republicans. I'm not going to do that to get an audience. I'm not going to go from suddenly being super, super against someone to super, super for someone. Even knowing, especially knowing that what you're saying is just not factual. Look, this guy saw the base go full Trump, and I think he wanted to monetize it. I think he wanted to grow his channel, his brand, and ended up promoting things that I don't think he actually believed in. And he did it for clout, for money, and what did he get for it at the end? Doesn't seem like he got a whole lot. That brings me to number 2. He basically admitted that his main issue is that he has not personally recovered. That he has not personally grown. That he is the one that is suffering as a result of this. I did so much for you. I parroted everything for Donald Trump, and still my ratings suck. Now, look, I don't know if his ratings suck, but I did go check out his Facebook page, by the way, and he is actually correct. He's got more followers than I do. 65,000. I've got like 50,000, which is respectable. I admit, he's got a bigger following than me, but he doesn't really have that many active people on Facebook. He's right. 2 or 3 comments and he posts something. But I actually think that's more his fault than Facebook's. That's not to say that Facebook doesn't hate news and politics. It does. Oh, absolutely. It made a bunch of changes to push news and politics out of the Facebook feed, after after 2016. And so, yeah, they've made a lot of changes to show that they're not news and politics friendly, but we're still there, news and politics channels and pages. But Steve Deace, even though they've had these changes, you can still get a decent Facebook audience if you do video. Steve Deace does not do Facebook video. No wonder he has such low engagement. He just posts links to his other website. Why go through Facebook when you just go to his website? Doesn't make any sense, right? So, yeah. Doesn't help him at all that he's doing Facebook wrong. But anyway, it's easier, though, for him to blame problems on, him being shadow banned by Facebook, which, again, is not true. But my overall point here on this, to get off this tangent, is that, look, his whole point is, how am I affected? So that was the whole segment. That was his whole thing. Getting mad that I was personally affected. Not that I misled the country. Not that I parroted things that I don't believe in. It's that, this affected me negatively. I lied and spread conspiracy theories for Trump. I got nothing to show for it. And you know what I say to that? Good. You get what you deserve.